If you have ever tried to record a small band or a podcast with multiple guests, you know that things can get messy fast. You end up with a tangle of cables and a headache trying to balance levels on a computer screen. That is where this little mixer comes in. It is one of those pieces of gear that feels surprisingly substantial for its size. It is not exactly heavy, weighing in at just over 2 pounds, but it sits on a desk with a certain authority. The knobs have a decent amount of resistance, which is a nice touch because there is nothing worse than accidentally bumping a gain setting while you are in the middle of a take. What makes this thing interesting is how it bridges the gap between old-school analog mixing and modern digital recording. You get 8 channels to play with, and the layout is straightforward enough that you do not need a manual the size of a phone book to figure it out. The XLR inputs are solid, and having that phantom power switch right there means you can plug in your favorite condenser mic without needing an extra power supply. It is a clean, no-nonsense setup. The high-pass filters are a lifesaver if you are dealing with low-end rumble in a room that is not perfectly soundproofed. Now here is the part that usually trips people up with these hybrid units. The USB connection is plug-and-play, which is fantastic for anyone who just wants to get to work without fighting with driver installations. It shows up on a Mac or PC as a standard interface, and it handles 16-bit audio just fine. It is not going to give you high-end studio resolution for a professional orchestral recording, but for DMOS, podcasts, or streaming, it is more than capable. One thing to keep in mind is that it is a stereo output, so you are essentially sending a mixed-down signal to your computer. If you are looking for individual multi-track recording where every single channel shows up as a separate track in your software, this is not that device. You have to be comfortable with your mix before it hits the digital realm. The built-in effects are a fun addition. You have a handful of presets that can add a bit of life to a dry vocal or a guitar track. They are not the most tweakable effects in the world, but they are perfect for monitoring or getting a quick, polished sound without having to load up a bunch of plugins on your computer. The LED metering is bright and easy to read, which helps keep you from clipping your signal when things get loud. It even plays nice with an iPad if you have the right adapter, which opens up some interesting mobile recording possibilities. Honestly, the biggest limitation is that it is a bit of a fixed-function tool. You are getting a specific workflow here, and if you need deep, granular control over every single parameter, you might find yourself wanting more. But for the price, it is hard to argue with the convenience. It is a workhorse that stays out of your way and lets you focus on the actual audio. If you are setting up a home studio on a budget and need something that just works, this is a pretty compelling option to have on your desk. It is not trying to be a high-end console, and it does not need to be. It is just a reliable, straightforward way to get sound from your instruments into your computer.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.